So we're walking up the road and the supporting artist is going, oh, look, it's Richard Osman. And then I sort of step aside and Spielberg's there and they're like, oh my God.
Hello. Do you get invited to a lot of dinner parties?
Dinner parties? Yeah, like a few. Not really, not that many.
Has it gone up, though, since, you became, Richard Osman rather than the man on Pointless?
No, I think it's probably gone down.
No.
Because in real life, I'm quite a nice guy, but on Pointless, I'm insufferable. Or I was insufferable.
You don't do that anymore, do you?
No, I haven't done it for a long time.
Pointless is a juggernaut of entertainment, isn't it?
Yes, it is a sort of a juggernaut of entertainment. I know exactly what you mean, but I did 2,000 episodes of it.
Wow.
And now I can sleep.
But the way they make these shows these days, 2,000 episodes. So that's 3 weeks of work, and then
3 or 4 weeks of work. Yeah, exactly that. And no, House of Games, which I do, we do a whole day in a week. We do a whole week in a day, and it's just you have to, because you can't afford to make television anymore. You have to try and make as much as possible in a short space of time as you can.
So when you do that show, do you do a week's worth in a day, and then the next day do another week's worth, and the next day?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of games.
Wow.
That's a lot. But it's really good fun, that show. It's such a laugh to make. It's such fun to do. So it absolutely speeds by. And I always think, with radio, if it's fun to do, it's fun to listen to. Always. It's so hard to fake that you're having a good time. And on that show, we have such a lovely time.
Yeah.
Pointless was your idea?
Up to a point. I had I was the creative director of the company, so no, I didn't come up with the original idea of it. So people always say I do, and then the people who actually came up with it are always kind of do say that we came up with it. But there's about 40 of them. Yeah.
Okay.
What did you get a watch? What do you after they? I mean, I guess they sold that format around the world and
Pointless. They didn't really. Lots of other formats. We did Deal or No Deals everywhere. £1 Million Drop is everywhere in the world. Pointless everywhere around the world. They were like, this is a big hit in the UK, so we'll make it. And then they're making it, and they go, what is this?
Really?
And
I'm surprised.
Why is it not? I think because it's very British. It's just people chatting, right? And a bit of banter, and it's but so around the world, when all they want is like Jeopardy and 10 heartbeats and £1 million prizes, they're watching this and going, sorry, you're asking us to name the most famous trees in South America. I don't know what this is.
And it's all about the trophy as well, isn't it? After the jackpot.
It's all about the disappointing trophy. Yeah.
You were creative director of television? Is that
I was, yeah.
For that company?
I was indeed. Many years ago.
I don't know if I should fess this up to you.
Okay.
So your involvement with £1 Million Drop was but you'd have been all across that, getting that ready.
Yeah, there's a guy called David Flynn came up with it, but we would play it 15,000 times and work out how to do it, and then we go into the channel and sell it, and then you make the first episode, and then suddenly it goes everywhere. Yeah.
I have 2 stories about £1 Million Drop. Number one, I was on it once, and there's a very weird thing with a game show where the money is physically in front of you, and you have 4 options of what the correct answer is.
Yeah,
because all of a sudden, is your name Chris could have been the question, and the screen 1 would say yes, screen 2 would say banana, screen 3 would say pizza, and screen 4 would say caravan. And I go, it's Chris. And I was on with Andy Peters, and he goes, are you sure? And it's unbelievable that you go, yes, but let's not put all the money in it.
I'm just going to hedge. Let's put a little bit,
There was one question, I can't remember what it was. I was 1,000,000,000% convinced that I knew the answer, and I still split the money just in case. You start to
you
panic.
Can't help yourself. When people have a go at people giving stupid answers on quiz shows, I always say it is so nerve-wracking to be in that studio with the lights on, and you're a professional, even when it's there and it's real money, you're like, this is terrifying. And so anyone who ever gives a dumb answer on a quiz show, you have to give them a bit of slack, because it's quite a stressful place to be.
And then the second was I ruined the £1 Million Drop once.
That's my job.
And I'm not sure if I ever really recovered.
Okay.
So what happened was, I'm sat at home in Leeds with my mum and dad, and we're watching the show, and the £1 Million Drop live, when it was live, proper live. And I've got this big new HD telly in my apartment, and mum and dad had come round. And
someone's doing well.
Yeah.
Absolutely, money bags.
Yeah. Commercial radio these days.
All right, so Chris.
So, and I went, oh, there's a mark on my screen. Oh no, it's not. And it was a mark on one of the screens with one of the answers on the £1 Million Drop.
No.
Right? There was like a handprint on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I had this lovely HD telly, I'm like, you can, look, there's a handprint. And so I tweeted, I'm obsessed with this handprint on screen 3 on the £1 Million Drop. Anyway, they went to a commercial break, and when they came back, screen 3 had broken. And it wasn't working. So they couldn't display the answer. And I'm like, oh, God, isn't that weird? God. Because I just noticed there was a handprint, and I found out afterwards that they'd gone, Chris Moyles had tweeted, there's a handprint on screen 3. Oh, God, there is a handprint on screen 3. So they wiped it during the break, and they put the telly into standby mode.
Oh, no.
And they couldn't find a remote control to switch it back on again.
Oh, that's amazing. What power you have.
I apologise.
Yeah, listen, it seemed to do okay, even despite that.
It did all right.
Yeah, all right. That's funny.
But then all that is behind you, though, those days now.
Yeah,
you're gone. You're free.
Yeah.
You're out of that world. You decided to do a podcast where you just talk only about that world.
I know.
Even though you got out.
Yeah, heard of podcasts? Listen, I think they're here to stay.
Absolutely. Are you relieved to get out of that world on a day-to-day?
I loved it. And the best thing about TV is the best thing about radio, which is a team, right? And you work with incredible people, and everyone can do stuff that you can't do. And I absolutely love that. But yeah, I had done a lot of it, and sitting and writing to me now, I sit in a room which I thought would be the worst thing in the world, just me. I actually kind of love it. And then at the end of the process of the book, you get to come and sit and chat to nice people, and I enjoy that bit too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad writing is the thing that's my heart,
right?
And it always has been. So it's nice that that's become the new career.
Has anybody else ever pointed out to you that you say that Pointless wasn't your idea, but if you look at the dynamic of how that show works, you are the only person sat down at a desk with a laptop. You've got the host stood up.
Yep.
You have all of the contestants stood up.
Yep.
For the duration of the entire show,
I know.
There's only one person sat down.
Yeah.
That person sat in front of a laptop. And out of all the people who have appeared on the show, there's only one person who has now got really, really successful novels behind them. And that's you. I've worked it out, Richard.
Yeah, clever.
That's why you did 2000, because you hadn't finished the book.
I was writing. I mean, that laptop was never switched on in 14 years of telly. I never once looked at that laptop even, but it was always just, so that's how telly works. You just think, no, honestly, just to make you look clever, let's give you a laptop. You know? Okay, that's shorthand for this guy's clever.
But now look at you. It is ludicrous, the success of your books. I mean, it's not even the dream. You want these books to do, like the first time you put the book out, you'd love it if it did well and everything, but it's gone absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it's been an absolute dream, and it's love. Over here, I know I'm known from TV, but it's lovely that in America and Germany and Brazil and Japan, that people, because they don't know who I am, they've never heard of Pointless Celebrities, so the fact that they respond to it and love the stories and characters, and lovely to be able to launch a whole new series as well, and just think that I get to do this for the next sort of 25, 30 years, as long as I got, because I love doing it, and I love making people laugh, and I love murder mysteries, and I love the warmth of the thing. So yeah, it's really the absolute dream.
So the Thursday Murder Club series, that's done?
Not done, no, coming back next year.
Oh, it is?
They're having a year off, because if anyone's read the first 4, I put them through quite a lot, so I've given them a year off.
Right,
and now we come to We Solve Murders.
And this will be a new series of
This is a new series, unless no one buys it, in which case this is a one-off.
They may be coming back out of retirement very quickly.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did you change the ending of this thinking, hold on a second, I'd like another book in the We Solve Murders series, so I'll just change it slightly so it keeps it slightly open-ended. But if there's only one book, it kind of wraps it up at the same time.
Because that's right, yeah. But no one will remember. No, I like to write things that are serious. I'm a TV guy, and I like introducing new characters and thinking, I want you to come back, and I plant little seeds that I know I can, I've got kind of 4 or 5 books worth of stuff in there. So for me, having a couple of series on the go at the same time, that's I've got all these characters in my head.
So when you start writing the first book of Thursday Murder Club, so have you got book 2 and 3 pretty much
with that
in your head?
Not so much, because when I wrote that, I had no idea anyone's ever going to read any of them, and I was just doing it for myself, and I didn't show anyone that I was doing it. I just wanted to see if I could do it. But very quickly, with the second and the third, absolutely, you keep, never kind of, this is going to pay off, but always I set myself little challenges that I then have to fix in the next book and the next book. Right. I just drop little kind of things that I can pick up, because that's what people love it, and people want you to, people, you can read them out of order, but it's lovely to read them in order and see all the things develop.
Is there a mixture when you have the successful series of books that have gone ahead? So you sit down and start writing this or working on the new book, We Solve Murders. Does it make it easier because you're a certain way down the road now, and you know that you're good at, whether you think you're good at this or not, the people have said you are because they like the books. Does that make it easier? But does it also add pressure because the books are so much loved that this better be good?
Yeah, it's certainly. I find it easier to write the book because I know how to write a book because I've made some of the mistakes, and so I know the kind of the problems. But with brand new characters, firstly you feel like you're cheating on your old characters. Secondly, you have to get to know them a bit first. You have to fall in love with them, and it takes me a little while. But yeah, about 2 months into it, we've sort of written one scene, and you got the three main characters chatting to each other, and you think, oh my god, this is such fun.
Yeah.
Then you just think, okay, this is great. Everything falls into place. And for me, books is all it is characters. And it's lovely having murder mysteries, so we all want to solve it. But you have to be with characters who you want to spend time with.
Yeah.
And we've got Steve and Rosie, who are father-in-law and daughter-in-law. She's a bodyguard. He's an ex-cop. There's Rosie D'Antonio, who's the world's best-selling novelist. She's like a Jackie Collins type. And so three of them just going around the world and just like having them talk to each other and sort of sending someone in with a gun and seeing how they all respond. That's like, I love it when I'm writing it. And you think, if I'm enjoying writing it, again, it's like the TV, hopefully people enjoy reading it.
Yeah.
Is there a murder to be solved in this book?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's called We Solve Murders.
Well, no, I know.
It would be disappointing if it was a sort of reflection on love and loss in 18th century Italy.
Well, listen, I don't know. It could be a humorous story about these people who go around the world solving murders, and they get to it and they go, no, we don't know.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
Let's not bother. Yeah, no, there's payoff, I promise.
I think Fred did it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we going to do then?
Yeah. Let's go down the pub.
What's your writing process? Now, you can feel free to get as nerdy as you like, because when I started writing, when I left Radio 1, I started writing, and I had no idea how to write at all. Didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And I opened up Microsoft Word and started writing a script, and luckily sent it to somebody, and they politely said, it's a little bit long, it's a little bit wordy.
Yeah.
Your average half hour should be about 28, 30 pages. You wrote 140 pages. You basically wrote a very long film. And I used to
great these days on Netflix. It's a 10-parter.
But I remember saying, I don't know how to write.
Yeah.
And I was told, well, but you are writing, so don't worry about that. Every writer I know, this woman said, they all write differently.
Yep.
So what is your process? Does it start with, sorry, this is a long question.
Oh no, it's great.
Does it start with you literally lying on the sofa or walking around just thinking?
Yes, it does. But the absolute key is sit down and do the work. And with me, if anyone's starting a novel at home, as I say, I think characters are the most important thing. I don't think it's what happens in a book that's most important. I think it's why do I care what happens in a book. So for me, the first thing I do, I've got characters in my head. Take bits of them from life, but you just think who would be interesting to have together. I sit down and write scenes where they just talk to each other. So I just get to know them a little bit and I get to like them. And suddenly someone will say something where you go, I've never heard anyone say that before. Who are you? And I get to understand the characters. And then I start, going down the road of the plot, but I have to have the characters first.
Wow.
I try to do 1,500 words a day, 1,000, 1,500 words a day. A lot of days, Dom, I don't write at all.
Okay, so that sounds like a lot, 1,500
it's about sort of 2.5 hours, probably. Okay. And I write short chapters because that's how I like to read. I love a book with short chapters that you just keep turning the pages.
Yeah.
And 1,500 words, that's a chapter. So I just keep going until I've written a chapter, and then never go back and change it the next day and just go, oh no, hold on, let me change this word and that word. Keep going, because next one, get to the end, then you go back and go, oh my God, this bit's terrible, that bit's terrible. Because at the end, you know what happened.
Yes.
And you can make the early scenes seem cleverer because you know where you're going. You can drop little hints into early scenes that weren't there. Yeah. And then you just go, okay, I know the shape of this. I can make this better. I can improve, the stuff that's not right. But never, you get people who rewrite the first chapter of their book 100 times. You can which I absolutely get because you want it to be perfect. But don't do that absolutely the end. Just get it done.
Yeah, because you'll always find things to change.
100%.
So get it all out your system first, because you're going to change it anyway.
And also, if you're working long hours or you've got young kids or anything and you can do 200 words a day, do 200 words a day.
Yeah.
It's exactly like going to the gym. Just keep at it, and you'll be amazed how quickly you get to 90,000 words.
So how many rewrites did you do, say, for this, to We Solve Murders?
I mean,
So you get to the end and then you go back and then...
very few really, because it's, as I say, I've done it a bit more often now, so I gave it in. I handed it in.
You handed in your homework.
At the start of May, and then you got US and UK editors, and they look at it and send back a few notes. And a week later, I spent like another week on it. But so I'm kind of So I write it. Then before I send it to the editor, I absolutely go through it 2 or 3 times, just tightening, making it funnier, making it better, making it warmer, making people's motivations a bit clearer. You hand it in, they come back. My American editor is great. She just occasionally, in a book, she'll just write, bored.
Okay.
Which is the best note you can ever have.
Wow.
Because it's like, okay, now let me work out why you're bored.
Okay.
And you go, it's because that scene shouldn't be there. Or actually, I've gone on too long on this bit.
Yeah.
And you think, great, that's the only note you need, really.
Yeah.
And then you get really clever people who say, oh, by the way, the 4th of July 1973 was a Tuesday, not a Wednesday. They sort all of that stuff out for you as well. And then, you're pretty much done.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Like Richard Curtis said to me once when he used to send his scripts in that his guy would always have, it's always the same note, and it's like, could be funnier.
Yes.
Right.
And it's the same as bored. It makes you then go, okay, what am I meant to take? Okay, well, here I go. I'll go back in.
But it's true, that book's really long, and there will be bits where you got too close to it, or there's a bit that you particularly love which shouldn't be there, and that's the note you always want. But if you've given it to friends to read and they say they're bored, listen to it. Don't listen to their solution, because their solution's almost always wrong. But listen to the fact that they're bored.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's usually a reason.
Yeah.
Ed in Norfolk says, morning, Chris. Can you tell Richard I've loved listening to all 4 books. Absolutely brilliant stories. Thank you.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
Nice. Please tell Richard I'm obsessed with the Rest is Entertainment podcast. His and Marina's knowledge of the behind-the-scenes world of TV and movies is absolutely fascinating. I love it, says Nick.
Oh.
I sobbed reading the last Thursday Murder Club book, says Leslie. Oh, that's not nice. I mean, he really worked hard on that.
He really did.
She says it's so bad. No, the last one is very emotional. So thank you, Leslie.
And final question, will you ever sell the House of Games prizes for the public to buy? I'm obsessed with the luggage.
We might not. It's funny, like every comedian in the world now owns a piece of House of Games luggage. I think at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, the carousel is it's just 50 versions of me going around.
We've got the cricket bat. Pride
of
place.
Of course. The only one I've got is the decanter, because it's quite the branding is a bit more subtle.
Class.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you ever have a dinner party around your house, you need to get all of the merch.
All the merch.
Can you imagine? Just your face everywhere.
Fondue set,
the plates, napkins, the works. Some people be like, oh my God.
Can you imagine? This guy loves himself a bit.
And the movie side of things?
Yes, yeah. So Thursday Murder Club, literally the last day of filming today.
Stop.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's Chris Columbus, who's the director, is last day today. I've been down a few times. I'm leaving them to it. They know, my job is to write the book. They're making the film of it. So, but I've been down a few times. Spielberg came down.
Oh my gosh.
Came in by helicopter, from a yacht in the south of France.
Oh, what?
And there were loads of supporting artists, right? So we're walking up the road, and the supporting artists going, "Oh, it's Richard Osman," and then I sort of step aside, and Spielberg's there, and they're like, "Oh my God."
Are you going to be in it?
No. I might do one little voice thing, but I can't.
You have to.
I can't be, because people are going, "Why is the guy from Pointless in a Sussex police station?" It'd be a bit odd.
Can it just be behind a newspaper?
Exactly.
But that's amazing, though, isn't it? You got Spielberg in it. It's just incredible. And Chris, so he did some of the Harry Potter films.
He did, Harry Potter. He did Home Alone, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. He's an amazing director.
The loveliest man in the world.
Amazing director.
As well. You should get him on here. He's brilliant. A huge muso.
Does he think if we could get him on here, we'd have you?
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That is a fair point. No, that's been a real treat. So should be out next year, I think.
Next year.
I mean, who knows with films?
I've met you a few times, only here doing the show and everything. But honestly, I love people who do well, and I love the fact that you'd never written a book, and then the next thing is you're meeting Steven Spielberg because they're turning your book into a movie. I'm so proud of you, and I don't know you. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I'm so chuffed. And again, you'll be invited to a screening of your movie. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, listen, it's but all of that, honestly, and it goes to anyone writing a book now, the only real job is sitting down and doing the writing.
Right.
Everything else is gravy, and it's all fun. The only job is shutting the door, sitting down, and do the work. Always, you know that. Do the work.
And I don't do the work, which is why I'm still doing radio every morning, Richard.
He's got an HDTV, though.
In case of emergency, break glass and get up in the morning and just talk rubbish for 3.5 hours.
Listen, do what you're good at.
Lovely to see you. The book is out tomorrow. So Thursday, tomorrow, is when the book is out. The book is Richard Osman, We Solve Murders. Make sure you buy it. And Richard, thank you for coming in.
Pleasure. Thanks everybody.
Let's go, Mr. Richard Osman.
Radio X.